Welcome to the January edition of the monthly update on renewable power tenders. 12 tenders were issued during the month with a total capacity of 5,961 megawatt, up 20% in comparison with last month. Once again, while tendered capacity was high, actual allocation progress was far behind at only 500 megawatt. 10 new project development tenders totaling 5,950 megawatt and 2 EPC tenders totaling 11 megawatt were issued in the month. Of these, 8 tenders totaling 3,450 megawatt were issued under the KUSUM or agricultural feeder schemes. There were also 2 EPC sub-tenders with a total capacity of 2 gigawatt, 3 rooftop solar tenders with a capacity of 45 megawatt, and 3 empanelment tenders issued in this month. Only 2 auctions were conducted in the month, and both were by GUVNL for a total capacity of 800 megawatt. Bid submission deadlines were extended for a total of 30 tenders. Now let us look at notable details of select project development tenders issued in this month. After a hiatus of 3 years, Rajasthan issued its first solar tender in December. Now the state has issued a 1.5 gigawatt hybrid tender and a 1 gigawatt solar tender. Under the 1.5 gigawatt tender for ISTS connected solar wind storage hybrid project, solar and wind component sizes are fixed in the ratio of 2:1. The various project components do not need to be co-located. Minimum CUF is specified at 30%, and 4 megawatt hour power must be supplied for each megawatt of contracted capacity during peak hours, which in turn will be specified by the off-taker. Developers will bid for a single tariff for both peak and non-peak hours. Shortfall of more than 10% in annual CUF will be penalized at 0.5 times the PPA tariff, and any shortfall in monthly peak power supply will be penalized at 2 times the PPA tariff. For the 1 gigawatt solar tender, projects need to be set up in Rajasthan but may be connected to the ISTS network. Here, the minimum CUF requirement is specified at 17%, and the last date to submit bids is 10th March 2023. Madhya Pradesh issued a 1,110 megawatt solar tender under Component C of KUSUM scheme for feeding solar power to grid-connected irrigation pumps. Madhya Pradesh has issued 9 KUSUM tenders since 2020 with a cumulative capacity of 4.9 gigawatts split 25-75 between Component A and Component C of the scheme. However, on-ground progress has been slow, with only 4 megawatt being installed under Component A till date and none under Component C. Another KUSUM C tender was issued by Punjab Energy Development Agency for 45 megawatt capacity. There were 2 solar tenders for Component C of KUSUM scheme from Karnataka, 1081 megawatt by Bangalore Electricity Supply Company and a 220 megawatt by Karnataka Renewable Energy Development Agency. Karnataka has issued 3 KUSUM tenders previously with a total capacity of 1.3 gigawatt, but once again, the progress is disappointing on ground with no installed capacity so far. Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Company issued 2 tenders during the month, 500 megawatt under KUSUM C scheme and 350 megawatt under State Agricultural Feeder scheme. Maharashtra's tally of KUSUM and agri-feeder tenders is staggering with 19.4 gigawatt capacity of aggregate issuance till date, out of which only 2.2 gigawatt have been allocated. Rajasthan's Jaipur and Jodhpur discoms also issued KUSUM C tenders for 113 megawatt and 31 megawatt capacity, respectively. NTPC issued 2 EPC BOS sub-tenders in the month, a 1 gigawatt pan-India solar tender and a 1 gigawatt pan-India wind tender. The company has been issuing many such tenders for speedier execution in anticipation of BOO project auction wins, but conversion rate has been historically very low. Last year, NTPC has issued sub-tenders with a total capacity of 7 gigawatt, but only 1 gigawatt was finally allocated. Moving on to key rooftop solar tenders. Rajasthan Electronics and Instruments issued a 42 megawatt tender under RESCO mode for installations on government buildings across multiple states and union territories. Ceiling tariff has been set at Rs 5.15 per unit. There were two project auctions in the month, both by Gujarat. In the 500 megawatt solar Tranche 18 auction, the first on pan-India basis by the state, Spring, IB Boat, Hinduja and Blue Pine won 200, 130, 120 and 50 megawatt capacities respectively at bids ranging from Rs 2.51 to 2.52 per unit. These tariffs are marginally higher than the previous GUVNL auction in September 22, which saw an average tariff of Rs 2.49 per unit. In the 300 megawatt wind Tranche 4 auction, Juniper, EDF, Acme, and Blue Pine won 50, 100, 100, and 50 megawatt capacity each. Winning tariffs range between Rs 2.96 to 3.01 per unit. The average tariff in this auction is 5% lower over the last wind auction, which was conducted in July 2022. This concludes the summary of key tender updates in January 2023. We hope you found this update useful. You can view all tender, policy and regulatory information on the renewable power sector in real time in India RE Navigator, a one-stop market intelligence portal for the renewable sector. You can also write to us at contact@Bridge2India if you have a query or feedback. We will be back next month with another update. Until then, thank you and goodbye.